Hi students and parents, this is your old pal Mr. Kobelnik here. I want to talk to you today about finding context or using context in order to find the meaning of unknown words. We do teach vocabulary here at Berlin, and in our adopted material they will give the students about 6 to 8, sometimes even more than 8 vocabulary words. Now these words are chosen because mostly the students are not going to know these words, which, that's great. Now what I've noticed over the years, and what good research shows, is that if you just teach a child vocabulary by giving them the word and the definition and maybe examples, maybe even a photo, that might help a little bit. However, no matter what they do, no matter what we all do, we're all going to come across words that we just don't know the meaning of. And we just can't stop to grab a dictionary every single time that we get to a word we don't know. So we have this strategy of using context and looking at the word and the word parts in order to make an educated guess, an inference of sorts. So that's what this strategy is about, and that's what I'm going to be doing with your child just about every week. So I want you to know how we do it in class, so when you see your child do it, you could say, okay, you are doing it correctly. Oh, but you forgot to do this part. So, for example, I did this one with your children yesterday. I did heinous and I did indispensable. So I used this thing that we do at Berlin called 2-column notes. And what I did is I kind of just, instead of making lines, I just kind of made a little fold. And I have the left column and the right column. You can see the right column is way, way bigger than the left column because the right column is where we do most of the work. The left column is really for the word, possibly the page it's on. The right column is going to be for everything else. So before I even say, I think I know what this word means. However, what we want to do is we want to look at that word carefully. I see an OUS at the end, and I know OUS is a suffix that usually tells me that I'm looking at an adjective. So I was able to figure out that this word heinous is an adjective. And there's no prefix to the word, and I really don't know what the base means. So I'm not going to deal with that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look for clues in sentences. This is something that every child should always be doing if they're doing context work. They should be looking for clues. And the writers of these stories are working really hard to make clues for you. Oh, and by the way, this book, the Reading Writing Workshop, the People of Wonders, what they did was they actually created these passages. These passages in this book were created in order to give your child some background knowledge on the topics and the vocabulary that will come up in the passages in the anthology. So it's actually pretty smart what they did here. So that's why you're going to see the vocabulary words in this book and not in the anthology. By the time we get to the anthology, we're hoping your children already have a little bit of knowledge of these words. Okay, so anyway, heinous. So I see the sentence that heinous is in. I'm not just going to look at that sentence. I'm going to look for anything before it and after it. So I go back to the beginning of the sentence that has heinous in it. Then, because she always saves the bad news for last, she told me the really heinous part. Okay, so I already know that she gave some good news, so here comes the bad news. So I kind of get the idea that because she always saves the bad news for last, I think that has something to do with heinous. So I put that in there, bad news for last and heinous part. I know the word heinous is describing a part of her story. So those are my 2 context clues. Bad news for last, heinous part. I got it right from, we use that expression in English where there's smoke, there's fire. So we know we're going to find the fire near the smoke. So it's kind of like the clues are around the word. So based on that, I think heinous means something really bad. And if I look in the dictionary, I'm going to find that that's pretty darn close to what it means. So here's another one for you. We use the word indispensable, same page. And here's the word, you guys are utterly indispensable, I blurted out. How will I live without you? So I see that indispensable has a prefix. So there it is in the front, in. I see it also has able in the back. And I know able usually means able to. So what I can also do is I can get rid of the prefix and the suffix, and I see a base word, dispense. I know that would be considered a base word. The base word is, what do you find in the dictionary if you get rid of the prefix and the suffix? I know dispense means give, get rid of, supply someone with something. So in, I have able. So I know able usually refers to adjectives, capable, incredible, you get the idea. So based on that, I kind of have an idea that this word is an adjective. I have an idea that it has something to do with giving or supplying, maybe even getting rid of something or disposing. So now I'm going to go to the clues. You guys are utterly indispensable. So indispensable is being used to describe you guys. Those are her friends. How will I live without you? So I kind of see the connection that indispensable has something to do with I can't live without you. You are indispensable to me. I see a connection there. So based on that, I think indispensable means I need it to survive. It's unreplaceable. This is something that somebody in our class came up with. I thought that was pretty slick of them. Good work, student. So that is how we are using context in class. So if you have questions on that, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you with that.